Well, good morning. My name is Tom. I come to you from the great state of Maine. I got some housekeeping to do today. And probably going to tell a little bit about Old Maine versus New Maine. I really like that series that we've been working on. The old part of Maine, I'll take care of that in just a minute. What it's going to be about is Northern Maine. Northern Maine, our trees, the misconception that a lot of new people have of the great state of Maine versus the old days versus right now. Probably that's the way it is across the country, I don't know. But I know I can speak for the state of Maine, born and raised here. And I drank a lot of coffee sitting on the front porch thinking about all this. All this stuff in the state of Maine. And I get talking with my nephew and he gets talking about, I don't know how you do it, Uncle Tom. Drive from here all the way to the top of the state all by yourself. And I kind of look at that like, I don't understand what you mean because I've been doing it my whole life. He likes to have someone in the passenger seat to talk to, is what his point is. So let's I'll get on to that in just a minute. I want to take care of right now is my housekeeping. I got some housekeeping to do. We are right now the 1st of June, which means I don't do a whole lot of trout fishing right now. And it also means that I'm not preparing for bear hunting or bear trapping. Also for deer. So this is the time of the year in between seasons that I try to get a lot of work accomplished. I know we got to work once in a while. And if you ever get yourself a cabin, you'll understand what I mean. Right now, my pickup truck is loaded with everything I need to put a new roof on the log cabin. So I am headed up to the cabin with everything to put a new roof on. So what's that got to do with housekeeping? Well, I'm falling behind in my comments, people. I love your comments. I just don't want you to ever be insulted to think that I'm not reading your comments and all of that. But I've got a roof to put on that cabin. As soon as I'm done with that roof job, the very next week, I've got my shop that needs to be jacked up, leveled, and put some pads under it. And then my generator building also needs to be jacked up, leveled up, and the pads leveled up. So that's on my immediate table right now over the next, at least 2, hand looks like I'm bleeding. I'm really not. I was working on chalk lines, getting ready for the roof. Having to dig my carpentry tools out of corners and boxes and all of that because I retired from building, almost 10 years ago now. I have built since. I've built the guest cabin for my daughter. We put the addition on the back of the cabin for my grandsons. And we also built Beaver Creek. So getting back to what we got going on. Between the roof, the jacking, and then with any luck at all, I would like to stain all 3 of those buildings. I have a power stainer left over from the building days that you can hook right up to a 5-gallon jug of solid stain, and I would like to stain those 3 buildings as well as stain Beaver Creek if I can at all do it. So my plan is to get the carpentry stuff done in the month of June, and hopefully it'll only take me a weekend to run around there and stain them buildings. That thing is fast. That's a commercial sprayer. It is fast, especially up there. We don't have a whole lot of ladder work to do, so it'll take me hopefully a weekend. I can run around them buildings and give them at least 2 coats of stain, and then hopefully have some stain left over and bring everything into Beaver Creek and set up over there and spray the death out of that building. So my staining of these buildings will be done and the buildings will look good for a long time. So what does that mean for you guys? What that means for you guys is there might be some missed videos between here and the end of June. I'm going to do my darndest to give you some videos. I'll be videoing the whole job up there. Keep you posted on that. But as far as getting them home, getting them edited, and getting them uploaded to you, there might be some skips in there. So just giving you kind of a heads up, and the same thing in the comments. Do not get insulted if I don't answer your comment. Cut me some slack and have a good time. I love reading the comments, and I read absolutely every one of them sitting in my easy chair at night after supper or first thing in the morning with my coffee. So I enjoy the reading, puts a smile on my face. I just might not have enough time at that moment, or the energy. I am getting older. After roofing at the end of the day and then settling up for supper, I'm a little too tired to answer comments, so I answer a few here and there. I have managed to keep up. I wrapped them up last night, got me caught back up, but I just kind of giving you guys a heads up on what's going on here in the next at least 4 weeks. So if you're missing a video on a Wednesday, nothing's wrong, everything's good. It's just timing, work, editing, and too many irons in the fire. But this is stuff that I've been putting off, and I really need to get on it. Like I said, the next month. So let's see what happens. I do have my nephew going up to help roof. So we're going to ice and water shield. We're going to put on a new thimble around the chimney. And then we're going to put on the roofing shingles. They're going to be 30-year architectural shingles. So that should give me my lifetime anyways. And then it'll be someone else's problem. And then with the ice and water shield under the roofing, then it'll last a good long time. So that's the housekeeping. So let's get on to a little bit, and I won't go long here, but I will wet your whistle a little bit for Northern Maine. The first thing you're going to want to pick yourself up is a Maine Atlas. You can't come to the great state of Maine without picking up one of those blue Maine Atlases. Why is that important? Because there's a lot of stuff in there. And mainly what I want you to see is when you look at that blue atlas and you see rivers and you see streams and you see streams with names on them and stuff like that, all those names of them streams, like it might be Peter Brook, it might be Peter Cove, it might be Jake the Snake, whatever the name is on that brook is an actual person. It wasn't just a name pulled out of a hat. It could have been an old farmer that was living there. It could have been whatever the reason was back then, how all these bodies of waters got their name and these streams. But if you look in that Maine Atlas and you start looking at, just read the brook names. Really, really interesting reading, number one. And it gives you a really good opportunity to check out the state of Maine. And here's the other, and that's why I want to touch on it more in the future. This is for all the tree huggers and all of that, and all the people that say we can't cut trees, we can't cut trees, we can't cut trees. Well, you can cut trees, especially here in the state of Maine. 100 years ago, if you look, you go into Rustic County and you find the St. John River on that blue atlas. It'll start down at Baker Lake. You find Baker Lake, it's up on the western side of the state. It runs up that funny looking, looks like a straight line if you're looking at the state of Maine map, it's a straight line right up there against Quebec. Our Quebec friends. Hello, Canada. But anyways, you look in there and you will find the St. John River. You will also find the Allagash Wilderness Waterway. They're the only two rivers in the state of Maine that flow north. Everything else flows south to head for the ocean. These two, for whatever reason, they decided to head north. So they head north. St. John goes along the Canadian border all the way down. If you got in a canoe and you got in the St. John River and you knew the passageways, you could paddle right down to my camp and I'd give you a cup of coffee. Because we end up in St. John River and whatever, then it will flow out into the stream that runs along the side of my cabin up there. And you jump out and you come on down and we'll have some coffee. But anyways, the St. John ends up over there somewhere in the St. Croix, all that stuff. I have to get into the map myself if I want to tell you A, B, C, D, E, and F all the way down through. But anyways, look at, I got away from my train of thought there. I want you to look at the St. John River. And I want you to look at the islands. You'll see the different islands and the different areas will have names, like farm names. And that's what they was. They were farm names. Because most of Northern Maine, 100 years ago, 150 years ago, was all fields. All fields. Big fields, big farms. I mean, massive farms. Because it had to take care of the woods industry, which was cutting trees. And back then you had horses, you had man, you had, can you imagine how much hay they needed to grow to feed all those horses? It was before we had tractors, before we had all that stuff. Old Maine versus New Maine. So there was huge farms up there. I canoed the river. I've actually got all the topo maps for St. John River. And I'll dig that out and skim through it. I canoed that river so many years ago, I've forgotten a lot. And anyways, I think one of them in there, Southern Islands or something like that, farm. But if you look on the map and find them areas, you'll see where there was huge farms up there to house the men that worked in the woods, as well as to house and feed. Plus, you got food to grow. So I'm telling you, that's why I pick on the tree huggers. Because all of Northern Maine, if you drive through it now, guess what? All the trees have come back. Except for where they still maintain the fields. So it's crazy to think that people think if you cut a tree down that that's the end of the world. Well, it's not. And we'll get into that in another video, but I'm telling you, it's not. You will be amazed at how fast a strip of woods will grow back, bigger, better, and stronger, just by cutting down the trees. I wish the tree huggers would mind their own business, go back to whatever foolishness they come from, because they don't know a hole in the snowbank about trees, land management, and animal management, especially when it comes to wildlife. Oh! Tell me how you really feel, Tom. Tell me how you really feel. So anyways, we'll wrap this one up here. And you guys have a good day. I just wanted to kind of update you. And I wanted to talk about Northern Maine, tree hugging. I wanted to talk about all the big farms that was up there. You know, go back, search your history books for Northern Maine. Unbelievable. I mean, we still got massive fields up there, as far as the eye can see, that they maintain. Potato fields, cabbage fields. What's another one? A turnip, rutabaga, all them big crops. You go up there in Rustic County, and just as far as the eye can see. Straw, not hay, straw, bedding straw. Just big fields still up there operating today. Machinery now. Not the old horse and buggy anymore. But anyways. Well, you guys have a great week. I'll be roofing when you're watching this. So, send me a thumbs up. Send me a hello and say, don't work so hard, Tom. But I got to get this stuff behind me so I can get back to fishing, hunting, trapping, and all 9 yards. I just can't have my building falling down around my ear anymore. So... Hey, you guys have a great week.